motivation is talked about like it's this missing puzzle piece. Like once you finally feel motivated enough, everything will just suddenly click into place. And consistency is just going to become this very easy thing. And I think that belief alone keeps a lot of people stuck because motivation doesn't actually create change. You're taught to believe motivation is the starting point. It's the thing that's going to get you going, the thing that makes action easier. Motivation is honestly talked about like it's something you either have or don't have. And if you don't have it, that must be the problem. So you wait. You wait to feel ready. You wait to feel excited. You wait to feel any type of confident. And while you're waiting, nothing is changing. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are influenced by a myriad of things. So, your mood, your sleep, your stress level, what's happening in your life. So, that means motivation is inconsistent by nature. So, some days you will feel energized when you wake up. Some days you won't. Some days you'll feel focused. Some days you're just going to feel overwhelmed. So, if motivation is leading your decisions, your behavior will change every time your emotional state changes. And that's not a character flaw. That's just honestly how emotions work. The issue isn't that motivation disappears. The issue is that you're waiting on it before you act. So when motivation becomes the requirement, action has now become optional. And optional doesn't create any type of consistency. That's why you feel like you can't stick to anything. It's not because you don't care, it's because the system you're using is depending on how you feel in that moment. Now, motivation isn't useless. It's just not meant to lead your decisions. Motivation works best after action, not before it. You become motivated after you see results. That's why you can't wait for motivation to start anything. And this is where identity starts to change. So when you act without waiting to feel motivated, you stop seeing yourself as someone who tries. And now you're going to start seeing yourself as someone who actually follows through. That identity shift does not come from any type of excitement or inspiration. It only can come from repetition, from doing the thing even when the motivation is not present. This is why I don't build anything I teach around motivation, because motivation is 100% unpredictable. Everything that I teach is built around structure. So your progress will not disappear the moment the motivation disappears. Motivation is just a bonus. It's not a requirement. Structure is actually the requirement in my program. So if you've been waiting to feel motivated before you start or stay consistent with anything, you can stop doing that, because motivation is not your problem and it's most definitely not going to be your solution. Change comes from decisions, not feelings. Decisions that are made ahead of time, decisions that you're not renegotiating every single day, decisions that remove the question of, do you feel like it? When decisions are already made, motivation becomes irrelevant. You don't need to feel excited to do anything. You just do it. This is where structure matters, because structure brings clarity. It reduces friction, limits that decision fatigue. It gives your actions a place to live, especially when life gets busy. Because without structure, the things that matter get pushed to the side as soon as life starts lifing. And life is always going to life. And so I'm not telling you to ignore your feelings here, but I am saying you need to separate the emotion from decision making. You can acknowledge how you feel without letting it decide what you do. Your feelings will always matter. They just can't keep leading your decisions.